As of recording this, my last tweet that I made was 3 days ago, and my last Instagram post was on October 27th, 2020, also known as the day when I voted. And yeah, I've posted some Instagram stories between then and now, but nothing really substantial. I haven't posted my face on Instagram or any part of my body since August 22nd, 2020, which of course was the infamous TikTok e-girls video recreation, and this was the photo from it. Yeah, it's been a long time. Also, just want to say I did touch up my hair dye today. I know it looks like I got into a bag of Cheetos, but just wanted to put that out there before we get too far into the video. This is hair dye. I'm not just a monster. And today I was catching up on a Tiffany Ferg video, which actually I think came out about a year ago, but I didn't get around to watching it till now. And it was called Should YouTubers Quit Their Day Jobs? And there's a part at the very end of the video that actually caught my attention more than anything else, and that I started really thinking about. And I came to the conclusion, or even the realization, that I can never actually be an internet influencer, simply because of the fact that I just choose to experience the present too much. I really enjoy sitting down with a cup of tea and reading a book, or looking out the window and enjoying the fresh air. Things like that that I would never think to pull out a camera and record or take a snapshot. And the thing is, like, even if you're not trying to be necessarily an Instagram influencer, even if you're trying to be just a full-time content creator online, the thing is you do have to be present on those like social media timelines. You know, you have to be posting on Instagram, you have to be posting on Twitter, you have to be, you know, putting out stories about what's going on in your very exciting life. And have I ever thought about being full-time, like a full-time content creator? Sure, it's something that I've thought like maybe could be something that was in my future if I worked hard enough towards it. But I realize now that I could never fully fulfill that, just because of the fact that I'm very, very happy not posting on social media. And in Tiffany's video, she specifically mentioned a book called How to Do Nothing, Resisting the Attention Economy, which is about the fact that we're constantly being bombarded with the idea that we need to monetize everything that we do, that we need to share everything that we do. And in this age of interconnectivity, I feel like that's just become such a burden on all of us. I feel like we're constantly plagued with the thought, oh, I should be sharing this, I should be posting about this, I should be, you know, making a video about this, or taking a photo. And the farthest that I myself will go with that is I'll write about it in my journal. I'll write about something in my day that occurred, but that's not something that I publicly put out. And for a long time I thought that there was something wrong with me. I was like, why don't I feel compelled to share these things with people? Why is it that when something good happens to me, why don't I tweet about it? Why am I not like doing this and this and this? I'm never gonna be able to grow my content or myself as a brand if I don't do this. One day, if I ever want to get to that level, there's no way that I could ever achieve that because I just don't do that. And I even had a bit of a resolution at the beginning, I think, of 2020, where I was like, I'm going to tweet more, I'm going to tweet like every day, just so that I could get into the groove of it. And I never did, because I think I did for the first few days, and then I just ran out of things to talk about. And you know, when I'm in the moment doing something exciting, I'm not going to pull out my phone and tweet about it. But you know, as the years have progressed and I've still been occasionally doing this, you know, content thing, I realized that that's not such a bad thing not to share all of me, because a lot of people burn out on the fact that they share everything of themselves. And I actually feel a little bit sad for the people who feel like they do have to post on social media constantly. I don't think that people were meant to be this interconnected. I think that the internet's really screwed up a lot of us. I think we're constantly looking for validation from strangers now, when that's never something that ever should have been a plausibility for the human race, that we could put something out into the world and someone, you know, across the entire world could see it and could have an opinion on it. It's just one of those things where I don't think it's a failing anymore of mine to not constantly be putting out things on social media. And I'm seeing a lot of content creators who actually will take a break from social media and be like, my mental health's so much better. And I've never really understood the need to do that, because I've never gotten that deep into social media that it's consumed my life. I mean, even like looking at my digital well-being stats, for instance, today I spent 2 hours and 39 minutes on my phone, and that was it. And that's pretty standard across the board. Like Sunday I had 48 minutes of screen time, and that was it. I used my phone for 48 minutes, but my average is usually about 2 to 3 hours of screen time a day, and that's it. Of those 2 to 3 hours, most of it is video content. Some of it is Reddit. Before bed, I'm usually looking through Reddit before I go to sleep. But on an average day, I'm usually only on Twitter for about 15 to 20 minutes. Obviously, this is different than desktop Twitter because I am on desktop Twitter quite a bit more. I usually keep it up in the background while I'm doing other things, but I don't obsessively check it throughout the day. And Instagram is even less. I think it's about 10 minutes tops for some of these days. I'll check it usually in the morning, and then that's it, and I don't touch it again the whole day, which I feel like is very out of the norm for people these days. I feel like most people, their screen time is insane. It's most of their waking day. They just have their phone with them constantly and they're always flipping through it, through social media on it, and it's just not healthy. Like, I'm glad that I grew up the age that I did where I didn't grow up with social media. It was one of those things that I grew into as an adult in college mostly. And it's just way easier for me to detach from it, I feel like, than a lot of young people nowadays. But there's also just this weird pressure to be present on social media. And to just post constantly. Like, I don't get it. I don't feel that way. You know, when I'm reading a book, I want to read a book. I don't want to post about the fact that I'm reading it. I don't need people to say like, oh yeah, I read that book, it was great. Like, I'm reading the book myself. I know it's good. I don't need people to tell me. And that's also like a weird subset of YouTubers, vloggers who feel like they have to record every single moment of their day and they never get to fully experience it. I feel like they don't, like, even though they're watching it back later and editing their own faces doing these things, they're not experiencing the moment. Kind of hypocritical of me because I literally made this channel because I was thinking I would get more into lifestyle content where it would be like, here's my life, here's what I do. And there's a reason why I haven't posted on this channel in many months. I was at a different house the last time I posted here because I just haven't felt the need to post anything because when I'm going about my day, I'm not thinking I need to record this. I'm thinking I want to enjoy this. So I do. And you know, I had a list of things that I wanted to make videos of. Like, I wanted to have a whole self-improvement project. Guess what? I just went and self-improved on my own. I did all those things by myself. Things like cleaning, whatever, good habits. I'm doing them. I'm just improving myself naturally throughout my life. It almost feels like detrimental to have to pull out my camera and go, oh, well, here we go, I gotta do this, when I could just go ahead and do it. Yeah, it almost feels like it kind of holds you back. Rather than doing something because you feel like it'll benefit you, you're doing it because you feel like people will enjoy it. And especially with the lockdown, there's been so much pressure to monetize your hobbies. Well, you have nothing better to do than do all those things all day, so why not turn it into a job, you know? And at that point, there's no longer any enjoyment and there's no longer any hobby because it's now become a new job. Social media is one of those things where it's like, well, you're using it anyway, so you might as well monetize it, that kind of thing. It's just like, there's already so much pressure with social media. We don't need to make it worse. You thought your social media usage was bad already. Wait till you have to do it. You have to use it. There's like an obligation and you have to post a certain amount, and if you don't, then, you know, it's bad for your brand, it's bad for your image, it's bad for your sponsorships and things like that. So yeah, I feel like I'll never be successful at that simply because I'm so happy not doing it. I'm so happy being away from social media and not constantly using it, which is something that I've always done. It's not something new for me. It's how I've always operated. I've almost never posted regularly on anything. Generally on Twitter, I post about once every 3 to 4 days, if that. But for a while there, when I wasn't making content, and I was just kind of vibing, living my life, I don't think I was posting pretty much at all. I think I posted like maybe once every few weeks. Honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think actually it's probably better to treat social media in that way. Yeah, you gonna come up? Hello. Whoop. There's a tail here. Oh, whose could that be? And see, why would I want to post about my cat when I could just be sitting here petting her? I feel like that's a good metaphor, right? I do have to wonder about people who make lifestyle content regularly, who vlog their lives constantly, if they ever really feel like they're living. I wonder if they enjoy the things that they do. I hope they do. But like, there's a reason why, you know, when I'm at conventions and things like that, I don't record it because then I wouldn't be experiencing the moment. I tried the other year, I tried to vlog PAX East, I think 2019, and I just never got that far because I recorded like the first day of myself at home, and then as soon as I got to the convention, all bets were out the window. Like, why would I bother pulling out my camera and recording myself in my surroundings when I could be experiencing my surroundings? I don't know, that's just never gonna be me. And I kind of wonder if I'm like doomed for that reason, because I enjoy living and I enjoy my free time. I enjoy just lounging and doing nothing. There's such a big like hustle culture where people are like, oh, if you're not working on your own craft, then are you really dedicated to it? Are you actually passionate? And like, I like making videos, don't get me wrong, but I also really enjoy laying on my couch and reading a book, you know? Like, that's something that I've had such a hard time coming to grips with, is if content creation is a hobby, then it should be like any other hobby where I do it every once in a while, or I do it every couple of days or once a week. If someone's hobby is sewing, you don't see them sewing every day for the rest of their lives. You see them sewing on occasion, because it's just that, it's a hobby. It's not something they have to do, and they enjoy doing it when they do it, but they don't feel forced to do it. So I kind of see social media in the same way, where it's like, it's an occasional hobby that I like to dabble in. I'll occasionally post something if I feel like it, but most of the time, meh. And I put that in the whole like content creation bubble, where social media, making posts, it's all an extension of me. It's all an extension of myself and my brand. So it's all under the same umbrella for me. It's all, you know, a hobby. And like I said, just like any other hobby, it's just something that I'll do on occasion, but most of the time I'm just enjoying my life. And if it's something that fits into my life, then I'll do it. If it's something that feels right and feels good in the moment, then I'll do it. Just like sitting, drinking tea, writing in my journal is something that feels good and feels right in the moment when I do it. It's nice to come to terms with the fact that like, this is how I like to operate in life. This is how I feel most comfortable, is just kind of floating and along and doing my own thing and enjoying myself in the things that I do, not feeling obligated to be present on social media, not feeling obligated to be present on necessarily YouTube or Twitch or really anything. I feel like that's something really, really hard for maybe full-time creators to try to deal with. I don't think they can ever fully switch off from that, from being present constantly online. And you know, that sucks. I kind of pity them a little bit. It's one of those things where I'm like, am I doomed? But also, would I even want that? Like, on the one hand, maybe I've doomed myself to never be a full-time content creator because of just the way that I am. But on the other hand, is that so bad? Like, would I want to live that way? Not really. I don't know, it's very freeing, and I would definitely recommend it. If you can, break out of the bubble of social media, just sort of like extract yourself. Remove the expectation that you need to post and that you need to be present. The only place where you need to be present is your own life. The only place where you need to be present is exactly where you are. And honestly, screw anyone who has different expectations for you or feels entitled to anything else from you, because honestly, it's just not worth it to tether yourself to other people in regards to social media and just in life in general. So anyway, this has been a thing. It was just something I wanted to talk about because I came across my consciousness and I just wanted to express my thoughts. So, and wanted to upload something on this channel for once. So if you guys have any thoughts about this, I'd love to hear it in the comments. What do you guys do for your social media? Do you feel like you're super detached from it, or do you feel like maybe it controls your life a little bit? Let me know. I'd be interested to hear. But yeah, I'm gonna head out. Thanks for being here. I don't really have an outro for this channel, do I? See you later, I guess. Bye. I know I'm not eating Cheetos.